In this video, you will see how to connect your Stripe to QuickBooks for data synchronization so that your reconciliation can be real quick with the help of Business Payments application. So this is the app interface. I have already an active account and I have my QuickBooks already connected to the app. But in case you don't, you can click this plus sign and click Add Accounting Company to add your QuickBooks. Here is my Stripe account opened and I have here the test invoice to Tony Stark. He bought the gift for Thor and he got some discount here. So I want this transaction to be brought over to QuickBooks. So first of all, I would need to connect my Stripe. So I hit again this plus sign and hit Add Payment Platform. Now I'm selecting Stripe here. In case you're not the owner of the Stripe account, you can invite the owner to grant the permission to access Stripe data. If you're the admin of the Stripe account, you just can hit connect. Now, in case you have several sub-accounts under Stripe, you can select the one needed and hit connect my Stripe account to grant the permission. I have two QuickBooks companies connected, so the app gives me the option to choose which one I want the Stripe data to go to. So I select this one and hit next. So after you've done all the preliminary setup, so everything is connected, the app will give you one-click setup form. Instead of going like step by step to the very end, it's real quick and if you can use it if you want, and hit OK to start after you twisted all the settings, so that the app redirected you to the transactions and you will be able to synchronize. I will go step by step in order to give you some more details. So the sales settings. As you can see under bank account, I'm selecting not the checking account, but Stripe bank account. It is highly recommended to use this clearing account for your Stripe transactions that the app will create under your chart of accounts in QuickBooks. So basically the flow will be this. The app will synchronize all the transactions initially to Stripe bank account, and then when actual Stripe makes the withdrawal to the bank, it will record transfer from Stripe bank account to your checking, and they will be matched under your banking section and you will be good to reconcile. So as a payment method, I also select Stripe, and also some advanced settings are available here in case you want, let's say, like apply default customer instead of each and every customer from your Stripe end. But I will switch this off. And also remember that all the settings will be available afterwards, so in case after initial setup you think that you want to change something, you will be free to do so. So I hit next and I'm on the product settings. So as you can see here, I have only one product service type and one product income account. This is because those settings will be used for creation of new products in case you did have the product on Stripe end, but there was no such product on QuickBooks end. The app will create this product based on these settings. All the existing products, in case the names match on Stripe and QuickBooks end, will be matched up correctly and everything will be accounted for properly. So I'm good with these settings. Product income account will be sales of product income, and I hit next. In case you have taxes set up on Stripe end, it's recommended to also enable taxes in the app too, so that you can bring them to QuickBooks correctly. The fees settings. So the vendor is obviously Stripe. As a category for your fees, you can select like bank charges or Stripe fees or whatever you have in your chart of accounts. As a bank account, again, you are to use the Stripe bank account, the clearing account that the app will create under your chart of accounts. Now you hit next. So now the payout settings. So this is the tab which is responsible for making those transfers from Stripe account to your checking. So here is the place where you select your checking account. And once the Stripe does the withdrawal to the bank, you will have your funds transferred to the banking tab of your QuickBooks, and everything will be matched up and reconciled. So in case you have your bank connected to QuickBooks, it's really recommended to enable processing of the payouts. It will not duplicate anything, it will just create the matching record. And now you hit next. And you're directed to the general settings. In case you enable this setting for automatic synchronizations, then the app will synchronize all the further transactions that are happening from your Stripe after you've connected the app. The app will transfer all of them to QuickBooks automatically. For all the previously created transactions, you are to import them manually to QuickBooks. I will show you how to do so. So now the settings for applying payments to unpaid invoices. In case you invoice your customers through QuickBooks, but they pay you through Stripe, the app will be able to match up the payment from Stripe and the open invoice from QuickBooks end. Just make sure the setting is on. So this setting is for skipping duplicates. It's recommended to have it on. And in case you do not enter any transactions manually from your Stripe to QuickBooks, or you do not have any other apps that do the same kind of synchronization, you're 100% secure from any duplicates. The app will track them and will not allow you to synchronize the same transaction twice. So now you hit next. And that's it, we're done. With the setting, we can hit start to sync so that the app would redirect us to the tab with transactions. So here you will see all the transactions from your payment platforms connected. But in order to bring some all transactions from my Stripe, I go to Import All Transactions tab right here on the left-hand side. And I'm selecting the Stripe account I've just connected. And here you can select any time range needed, like 2-3 years in a row. But I will select like just several days, like this. And I hit Import to bring the transactions from this time period from my Stripe to the app first of all. And I hit refresh to see the progress of the import. So now you can see the Stripe payment here. It has not synced status. That means that this transaction is not in your QuickBooks yet, and it is just to be synchronized. So I can select this one, or I can select like all of them per page for like batch actions, or selecting all of the transactions in all pages. But anyway, for testing, it's highly recommended to use just like one transaction. So I hit batch actions and I hit sync, and the app will sync the only transaction I selected. You can see here it is, only one. You refresh the page to see the progress. It says the status is in progress, which means the app works on this transaction right now. Okay, now the transaction says synced. That means that it was synchronized to my QuickBooks. I can hit this green status to see the details of the synchronization. So here's the link to the Stripe transaction, to initial one. And those are the links to all the objects that were created on QuickBooks end. So you can see the expense, which is a Stripe fee. You can see invoice with the payment. You can see the product. It was not in my QuickBooks, so the app created it, and the customer. So I hit show in QB. It's a link that will open the transaction on QuickBooks end. So here you can see the invoice itself. It's paid. So the data are here. You can see there was a description of my customer. It's Marvelous Team Company, so I want this to be the customer, but you also can change this in the app settings if you want just the name of the customer to be in QuickBooks. But in case you don't like something about the invoice on QuickBooks end, you can always roll back sync from here, or you can make bulk rollback, just selecting all the transactions needed and hitting rollback sync. Once the transaction shows deleted status, that means it's no longer in your QuickBooks. Yeah, all the links are disabled, and you can check the register of Stripe bank account to double check this. So this app can be a real time saver in terms of reconciling your Stripe transactions.